that I had was when I moved to Vijaya College for the first year of PUC, where I transitioned from Kannada medium to English. It probably has taken double the time for someone who has come from English medium. And I think we were blessed with very good parents who basically made it very simple for us. They said, go get your education, life will happen. If you get educated, your life will happen. And that was sometime you find some ego clashes. So you don't want to feed yourself to that ego situation. Within our Mangalore, we have subcultures. Especially in the field of technology, I can speak for it very well. Artificial intelligence and robotics is the future.
Hello dear viewers, today we have with us Mr. Imtiaz Iqbal, Chief Information Officer at Barnes Aerospace for an interview with us today. He is a Senior IT Executive and Digital Transformation Strategist. He excels in driving large-scale technology projects across industries, and he builds and manages high-performance international teams. He is a US citizen, but his heart and roots are from Mangalore. We welcome you, sir, for this interview, and we are very glad and thankful that you gave us time from your busy schedule during your visit to Mangalore for this interview. Starting the interview, I would like to know about your Mangalore roots, sir. How did the journey begin from Mangalore to US?
Thank you. Thank you for your time. Born and brought up in Ejmadi, which is in Udupi district. That's where I went to my school, government schools, both primary school as well as high school. And then subsequently, I did my PUC in Vijaya College, Mulki, neighboring town. Then after that, I did my computer engineering from Data Engineering College, and where I secured the top of the class distinction in the computer engineering. Then initially I started off as a lecturer at Data Engineering College soon after the graduation. Then also at that time it was KREC Suratkal, NITK, as a lecturer. So I worked there initially a few years. Then pursued my industrial career in Sultanate of Oman, Muscat, in a business group called South Bhawan Group, where I held various roles, right from software engineering to all the way to project manager, taking care of systems. And then I moved on to HSBC Bank in Dubai, and where I was a senior IT officer there. I was just there for a short while, about less than a year. Then I received an offer from United States as a software consultant. And in 1998, I moved to United States. And from there, after doing some consulting roles, I joined Jivadon, where I held various roles, including becoming a director of IT. It's a Swiss company, Swiss business, and we were in flavors and fragrance manufacturing. Then after that, I joined a company which is Smith & Nephew, which is a medical devices company based in UK, but my role was in the United States, and we made hip and knee replacement products and endoscopy equipment, and I was in charge of IT, vice president of IT for that company. Then while I was doing that, I also pursued my MBA, got Master of Business Administration in International Business from Xavier University in Cincinnati, Ohio. Then I pursued getting into a CIO, that is Chief Information Officer role in a company called Corning Life Sciences, and where we made a lot of products that goes into lab research and medicine research, this kind of products. That was done. Then I got into an aerospace and defense company, Mercury, where I held the role of CIO. We manufactured all the electronics that goes into aircrafts, both fighter jets as well as regular commercial aircrafts. After about a 5 years tenure in that, right now I am with Barnes Aerospace. We make aircraft engine parts to make aircraft engines. All the commercial aircraft manufacturers, we supply to them. And in my role, what I do is take care of everything to do with technology
Right.
and solving business challenges using technology. That's what my role is about.
One thing you told me just before this interview started, that you studied from Kannada medium school.
Yes.
So tell us something that interested me. How did you manage to, jump across industries, just like
Mhm.
how you spoke about now? You went from, although just in IT, but you started into teaching, then you jumped into an industry that made medical equipments, then into
Mhm.
aerospaces. For a person who studied from Kannada medium
Mhm.
school, there's a stereotype in this part of this part of the country that people who study in regional languages, it's a lot tougher for them to achieve such things that you have. So, how do you think you made it, or possible for yourself to jump across industries and still be, successful and relevant in those industries?
Yeah, it's a great question. The biggest impact that I had was when I moved to Vijaya College for the first year of PUC, where I transitioned from Kannada medium to English. And the first year I struggled. It was a struggle, and I used to refer to dictionary while understanding what is written on the text.
Okay.
And with a lot of hard work, it probably has taken double the time for someone who has come from English medium to do the same absorption of the content. Took long, but with the perseverance and focus, I was able to get it all right in the first year. And the second year PUC, I was really ready. I was able to, understand the content without those kind of an aid. So I think it comes down to determination, and it comes down to that there is no other way. This is the way to get it done. So you don't come to a conclusion or settle for anything less than what you want to achieve. So that drove me, and I was able to make that happen. So today, when I'm speaking to you, I don't think you will recognize that I'm come from a Kannada medium school.
Right.
Yeah, and recognizing the weakness is very important.
Okay.
I knew that there was a weakness,
Mhm.
and in the college, while most of the teachers understood Kannada, they also forced the situation on us, saying that I am not going to talk to Kannada with you because I want you to learn how to do this in English, because the future is in English. So they also helped in a way. Indirectly, they helped us that not to just to give up on that. So it helped.
Just one more question about you growing up in Mangalore. How was the setup in your house, around your family, around your friends? How did you grow up? What was the setup like when you studied in situations like this, when you came from Kannada medium to English medium, the transition? How did the environment support you?
Yeah. So I do come from a humble background. My father was a truck driver, and my mother worked on the BD works. And humble family. I have 5 sisters,
Okay.
and grew up in a very small house. And going to government school was not by choice.
Right.
That's the only thing that you have to do. One thing they insisted, my parents, is the only way out of the situation is to get educated. So they made sure all of us really went to school, got the education. And I think we were blessed with very good parents who basically made it very simple for us. They said, go get your education, life will happen. And simple, and as simple as that. And we just continue to get the support from them. And the place where I am from, Ejmari, it's a village. It's still a village. If you drive right now, it exactly looks the same like how it was 40 years ago. Um, and but there was a general consensus at that time from generally people that if you get educated, your life will happen, and that was very reinforcing for us, and not only from our parents as well as neighbors, teachers. I had probably some of the best teachers in my elementary school as well as in high school who really were interested in building our future.
So, coming to your professional journey, we speak. You have worked with international teams and international individuals, more or less, more of what people today call global citizens. You are a global citizen kind of a person, I feel. and you have worked across cultures and geographies. What is one thing about leadership that you have learned that textbooks and management courses will not teach?
Yeah. Very important thing, and I also had combination of work experience working with geographically distributed team.
Right.
They come from different part of the world, geographically distributed. They come from different cultural background, and also the values are different. I had teams all the way from Japan to all the way to Argentina and everything, everybody in between.
Right.
Part of my team. One important thing is it is important to understand those things about those individuals. What are their values, culture, and the preferences? We need to understand them. And based on that, we need to respond or react to the situation based on their beliefs and norms. I think it is very important. Now, if we try to, we are in America, we are an American citizen, there is a certain way things works in America. And when I'm working with people from Mexico or South America, it's different. And the same thing with the Europeans. So I had extensive experience working with French, German, and British people. 3 different styles. And when you are interacting with them, you have to, the way your work is. For example, most of the time in French culture, in an executive environment, the decisions are not made in the room. It's made during the coffee. And you come to the room to confirm the discussion. Whereas if you put them on the spot in a meeting room saying that this is what I want to do, which generally American style, because Americans are very open and this one, that doesn't work. That offend the other people. So it's very important to do that. And when you're interacting with Italian people and southern part of the Europe, Italian and Spain, there is sometime you find some ego clashes. So you don't want to feed yourself to that ego situation. So if we are trying to be very uptight, like British or American, they feel offended about it. So you need to work through those ones. So you need to understand where they come from. And one thing I observe is coming from a place like Mangalore has helped us. So if you see in Mangalore, we speak several languages. Right. You grow up speaking at least 5 languages in Mangalore. And when we used to play cricket or football or soccer, we call it as, and we used to call the other player in the language that they understood, the Konkani or a Bari or a Tulu or a Kannada or, all these things. What happens is builds that, okay, you are able to communicate in different languages very easily. And the diversity, we have different religions, different culture. Within our Mangalore, we have subcultures. So that really builds you to that international environment. And as being an Indian, if you're really thoughtful about it, that's what makes you unique. And if you see how Indian leaders succeed in the rest of the world is, for us, it just comes naturally because we are used to working with diversity, working with different language, beliefs, and culture and all those things. In fact, it's a blessing.
So many young, like you said, we Mangaloreans get that advantage of working with diversity when they go on a global stage. Let's say people from coastal Karnataka, many youngsters especially, now aspire to work on that global platform where they can, move forward like you did in your career. So, what advice would you like to give them about to manage their ambitions and while also staying grounded and relevant to the industry? How can they go forward? What would be your advice to young people from coastal Karnataka?
Especially in the field of technology, I can speak for it very well. Artificial intelligence and robotics is the future. So we call it as computer science, but specialization in artificial intelligence and robotics is the way to go. Okay. And everything will be around that. And the second thing is you have to be very good in the subject what you're studying. So that is given. You have to be at your best and strive for the best. There is no settling for mediocrity, and that's very important. Aim high, work hard, and get there. The second most important part, I think this is my observation, not only from coastal Karnataka, the entire India. What sets you apart in the international arena is your ability to communicate. Communication is very, very important. And it's a combination of communication and leadership that sets you apart, differentiating factor. You may be very good in the science and the technology, what you are learning. If you are unable to articulate that succinctly, effectively to the audience, you would not reach where you need to be. And that's a differentiating factor. And that's the blind side right now most people have, where we don't pay attention to those aspects, and we need to sharpen on that. When you do that, that's going to be the distinction factor.
So you spoke about artificial intelligence. That was supposed to be my next question, but you already covered it. So I'll alter my question and I would ask you, with the future like that, AI and all those newer technologies, what do you think is one skill that today is the most underrated skills that people, don't pay heed to, and they need to pay heed to that and give more attention to that one skill that you think is underrated today with the future of AI and stuff?
Yeah. Two things. One is I do have a master's in artificial intelligence from University of Pennsylvania. Artificial intelligence and robotics will be embedded into everything that we do in day-to-day life. It will be part of everything that we do. And not paying attention to one thing, using those artificial intelligence technology in our day-to-day effectiveness will not be good for us going forward. That includes, say, for example, anything that takes you today to write something, and if you could use artificial intelligence help and get that one effectiveness, you can do things faster and you can focus on things where you need more time. So anything repetitive, anything straightforward, if machines can do it, take advantage of that. Whereas what machines cannot do, you do it. And because they can't do it, that is where you need. So having the understanding of everything that you do, say for example in a job, ask the question, can this be done by a machine or a human? If the answer is it can be done by a machine, don't focus on that. Focus on things where you are required. And if you can do that, and this is a clear message to everybody, irrespective of anybody in any field. So start asking the question, can this be done by a machine using artificial intelligence? If the answer is yes, you need to start focusing what else machine cannot do, where I am relevant.
Like there is some skepticism in me about this personally, very personally. Like asking that question whether this can be done by a machine or not, won't that cut down more jobs going forward with, because 25 years back what machines were not doing, machines are doing everything today. That has come, that change has come 25 years, within 25 years, and we don't know about the next 25 years. So don't you think that will cut down more jobs, that will make more people unemployed, doesn't it make it more dependent on machines?
It's a very, very loaded question, and let me respond to you.
Yeah.
If you see, let's take an example. Where was the global GDP number in say 1970s? Okay, and where is it today in 2025? So exactly don't know the number, but if you see, we have probably really multiplied that GDP number globally so many times.
Right.
And in this period, what we were able to achieve was because of the technology and the science and the advancement that has happened. And if you see the quality of life of people in 1970 in the world and what it is today, generally you see it has improved a lot. You have access to education, you have access to medicine, you have access to a proper living conditions, water, everything. So this has happened.
Right.
So when the technology gets introduced, anything like this, the whole human race gets benefited out of it. And the modern technology, artificial intelligence and robotics also going to do the same thing. What it is going to do is it is going to accelerate the way we generate value in the world. What that means is human beings are going to be available to do things where human beings are really required. And anything where human beings are not required will be done. It does not mean that it is going to create unemployment. It is going to reposition where you need to focus. Say, for example, let me give you an example of our computer field. I can write a program for a logic, like in the sense I say, I write a program for me to do so and so, and I'll write it in plain English, feed it to artificial intelligence. He'll write the code for me.
Right.
When I graduated back in '92, I would write the program myself.
Right.
I don't need that. So that's a way you have to look at it, saying that if that can be done by the computer, so my job is how do I prescribe the input to the computer so that it can write a better program.
Prompt engineering.
Yes, prompt engineering. That's what it is called. So you have to learn that skill. It's about using those new technology to your advantage. It's not about fearing that I'm going to lose my job. By doing that, I can generate programs faster. I can create systems faster, solve problems faster, and move on to the next one.
Just an additional question. I am dragging it, I know, but so why does the company need you to write the code? If the boss can do it, they can keep a low maintenance guy, low salary guy who can do it too, just by giving a prompt. What sets you apart?
One thing is human being is much smarter than what we think. And if you see most of the innovation that has happened in the world, initially it was done by human.
Okay.
Right?
Right.
Who invented electricity?
Man.
Man, right? And who invented internet? It was not done by machine by itself.
Right. Yeah.
So that's the reason you have to position human being where you need to and use the machine. Say, for example, maybe centuries ago, before we started having cars, people used to walk or people used to ride the horse, right? By having car and we are able to get to a place faster and get the stuff done faster, right?
Right.
We won't be attending the wedding in Mangalore and sitting in Udupi. We just drive for maybe 40 minutes, attend the wedding and go back on this one. Earlier it used to be what? Takes days or months. So that's a productive way of using human time. Because what human being comes with is a limited time, right? There's a maximum number of years the person is going to be alive. So in that time, what is the best productive life that they can do? And also, don't underestimate the ability where human will have more time for themselves because machines are doing things.
Right.
So you can have a life where you take care of your health, family, your fitness, all of that. So quality of life is going to improve also.
That's one way. That's one great way of looking at things.
Yeah.
Moving forward, speaking about your career, you have been through, you have faced a lot of responsibilities. You have been part of greater roles that required more of responsibilities. I would like to ask, sometimes there might have been days where you have failed also. So how do you personally take failures, and how a youngster should ideally take failures into his strides, and what keeps someone like you motivated when you face one of those days?
My philosophy is you learn more from failures and setbacks than success. Success gives you instant gratification. Failure gives you lessons to propel you forward for success in the future. So failure is part of what we do,
Right.
and it's something that I take it very like openly, as well as I work on those, identify the weaknesses, why it failed and how it failed, and then maybe may it be a project, maybe it be a personal life, and try to figure out how to not to be at the same place where we found ourselves. So we have to be optimistic.
Right.
Being optimistic is very important. And another compass that I use is focus. So you need to remember, in a journey, you have to keep in mind the destination. Journey will be up and down. There will be breakdowns. There will be setbacks. But if you focus too much on the journey, the each step, and you will be distracted. Instead, my goal is I need to get there. Whatever happens, my job is to get to the destination. Have the focus on destination.
Okay, since we spoke about failure, now speaking about success. One of the last questions that I have for you is, beyond titles and achievements, what does success mean to you personally? And what kind of legacy you wish to leave behind for the people of Mangalore, for the people of your village, Hejamadi, and the coastal Karnataka? How do you want them to see you as?
Great question. And this is what I do in my professional life. Wherever I work, I want to make sure that I leave a legacy where people remember for what you have done. Two ways. One is what problems you have solved in that company. And the second thing is what kind of team members that you have developed in the process. So those two things are the legacy that we leave behind every time when you work for a company, and then you move on. They'll remember you for what you have done, for the people as well as for the company. And that's my motto, and I always follow that. And that's all about what I leave behind and what people will remember me for. The same thing here. Now I'm more focused on how can we motivate our young people to so that they can achieve the greatest heights that they want. And if we can play even a small role in showing them the lighthouse light and guiding them, I think that's a legacy we want to leave behind, because it's all about paying forward, right? Like somebody else has helped us. Now we have to help people to get there. So whatever I am today, I'm sure there are thousands of people are behind this success who helped me in a minute way or big way. My teachers, my people in the community, and everywhere, in every way they have supported me. And it's my responsibility to make sure that if I can show those ways for young people, I think that will be the legacy that we would like to leave behind.
How often do you, visit Mangalore? And over the years, from your childhood to this day, to this recent trip, what are the changes that you have seen around the city, around the localities, around the environment here in Mangalore, being a Mangalorean who comes once in a while to the city?
Good. I was fortunate enough to travel around the world. I've been to many countries, many cities, and I've known people in different places, my colleagues and my business partners, vendors, and all of that. One thing is Mangalore, those who are in this region are blessed. We are in a very, very good place in terms of, if you want to be growing up anywhere in the world, I think Mangalore area is the number one area. Primarily, one thing is education. And here everybody speaks about education. And education is part of conversation. So that's important, and that's what the blessings you have raising in Mangalore. Right. Diversity, multi-language capabilities, all of that. That also makes you unique. So most of the time, if you run into a Mangalore person, you would see that they have accomplished something. That's because of those ingredients. Now, in terms of what I see is changing is there is more access to the education, and there is more access to the better quality of life in terms of healthcare and the ability to really live a better lifestyle, which is good. It was not the case in 70s when we were growing up, and that's a positive thing. All improvements and everything, developments that I see is in the positive direction. Right. One thing that if I have to say that's not happening in Mangalore is we are not focusing on bringing manufacturing to this area.
Okay.
If we really have to help our generation in this location, in the Mangalore area, bring manufacturing jobs here, manufacturing industries here. When you start making products and your products are sold around the world, you get into a different economic level. And that is one thing that we would like to see more. We have made a lot of improvements in the service industries, and even IT is also growing well. But one of the weakness is our industrial and manufacturing space.
Right.
And this is a general observation even for most of the areas in India. It's concentrated on certain cities, but Mangalore has that opportunity to do that. And we have to do it in a big scale as well as in small scale. So it doesn't have to be always large companies. You make one product or one type of products, small companies employ people and produce the product and ship it globally. That's the best way to really lift the area. And this is something that I have observed in Western countries, United States, even in Europe, and that's what sets them apart. So that's the focus we have to do. And in fact, we have resources, we have knowledge, we have schools here. I think somebody was telling me there are more than 30 engineering schools around here.
Right, yeah.
And the best med schools are here. And why there is no one medical devices innovation company here that makes medical devices? That's a question we should ask.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, last question. Imagine there is another Imtiaz Iqbal somewhere around Mangalore who is studying in a Kannada medium school today. And you being the senior Imtiaz Iqbal, what advice would you give to the young Imtiaz Iqbal who is studying in a Kannada medium school with ambitions of achieving what you have achieved? So basically an advice to younger generation.
Yeah. I think we focus too much on medium, Kannada medium, English medium.
Okay.
Language is power. Knowing more language makes you more durable, more smarter. So don't consider studying in Kannada medium is a weakness. It's not a weakness. It's in fact a strength. So you have to look at everything as a strength. That's one thing. Don't think about Kannada medium as a weakness. If that is all you can afford, go for it. What is important is the knowledge what you acquire. What the medium of language is not important. If you are able to solve the calculus problems or the algebra problems and physics or chemistry, irrespective of the medium, if you are understanding the concept of Newton's law, and you're fine, and you now understand the concept. Now, if the medium is different, that's a very simple thing. Now, in fact, it is going to be less of important. Artificial intelligence, if you already have it, it will translate that to English for you.
Right.
You understand, right? I'm just lighter part. Now, what I would say is one thing. The most important is definitely have a purpose in your life, where you want to be, what you want to achieve. In fact, that is the most important. That's the reason I go back to the concept. Keep destination in mind, not the journey. In my case, my journey was with Kannada medium, English medium, struggle, this, that. But my destination was, I want to get somewhere. And I was focusing on that. So if you do that, all other things are going to be setbacks, challenges, you learn from it, struggle and everything, you'll get there. So for the younger generation, what I say is, sit down one day and say, where do you want to see yourself? And simple things. It doesn't have to be any fancy or big. Or if you want to aim high, aim high. But you need to have clarity on where you want to go, what do you want to be. And once you do that, start working towards it. You may not know today whether you're going to become a doctor or an engineer. Maybe it may be too early, right?
Yeah.
But if your goal is, I would like to make sure I can meet my social, economical expectations in my life. And I want to keep my parents happy. I want to be a valuable citizen in this place. Those some noble concepts you need to start building on it. And as you have more information, you say, okay, this is the field I think is for me, and I will go towards that. But again, having that idea of destination is very, very important.
Okay, dear viewers, that's it for this interview today. We have had the pleasure of interviewing Mr. Imtiaz Iqbal for this very insightful interview, and I think unfortunately we could not get more time to do this interview and cover more things. But definitely, I'm hoping that I'm going to interview him another time next time and with better questions and wider topics. Uh, but yeah, I am not from an IT field, but his conversation, his unflinching way of answering impressed me. But what interested me more was the way he spoke about his background coming from the stereotypes of coming from Kannada medium school and how he navigated through all those journeys and made himself who he is today. Very grateful, sir, for your time and for your insights on wider issues and a lot of things that I got to know from you. Uh, Thank you from Vartha Bharati team for giving us the time. And once again, I wish you all the best for your future endeavors and hope that this interview reaches wider audiences and it impresses them like it did to me and our other people like you do every day.